What's up, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Wizards Latest. I'm your host and DC sports fan, Ben Robertson, and on this page, we break down all the biggest headlines surrounding the Washington Wizards. So, today, I want to talk about a certain restricted free agent wing that the Wizards reportedly have interest in. Should they? Then we'll talk about how the Wizards should approach this next NBA season. What does success look like in our current situation? And finally, we'll talk about one of the young players on the roster. How can he continue building going into next year? Once again, I appreciate all of the support, you guys. Make sure to drop your comments down below with any thoughts. You can also like and subscribe while you're down there. Hit me over on Twitter at BenRobertson32 with thoughts or future video ideas. Happy Friday, happy 4th of July, and let's jump right in today. So, Jonathan Kuminga has been in the rumor mill now for a little bit over in Golden State. The 22-year-old wing is a restricted free agent this offseason. And while the Warriors have extended him a qualifying offer and have the ability to match any offer he might receive, Kuminga really feels like he's worth more than what he's getting offered right now and isn't really happy with his role in Golden State over the last couple of years. He feels like he has the potential to be a superstar and has been held back a little bit by Steve Kerr and co. So Golden State has the negotiation leverage here, again, because Kuminga is a restricted free agent, because of the cap situation across the league, really, right now, with so many teams. But it just might not be worth it for them to bring him back if they can't resolve their issues. And so they've been fielding offers for a potential sign and trade deal. Initially, the Kings seemed to be the team that had heavy interest, and now all of a sudden, the Wizards are potentially in the mix too and have interest in Jonathan Kuminga. The only problem with that is that I'm not sure that they should be, to be quite honest. Unless Kuminga turns into a top 5 or top 10 player in the league, a first or second team all NBA type guy, which I think he has the potential to be an all star, but I'm not quite sure that expectation is ever going to happen. I really think I might just rather ride with the young roster we have this year. Let's figure out what these young players are, like so many of you have, sort of told me and we've discussed on the page. And also, I would just be surprised to see Will Dawkins give Golden State at least what they're initially asking for, which is another young player back in return, plus a first round pick. That's what Golden State is reportedly looking for when they shop Kuminga. And I'm just not sure Will Dawkins is going to be willing to give that up. And, it brings me to my next point. Everyone understands the situation that we're in right now. If we fall out of the top 8 of the draft, we lose our pick next year, which is potentially disastrous to the rebuild. And I think Kuminga, honestly, while he might not actually push this roster over the edge of being, a playoff or, title contender, I think he might make us just good enough to sort of be a middling team and maybe lose that pick, which, so many of you guys, again, have expressed to me in the comments and sort of agreed could potentially be really bad for this rebuild. The only way that, losing that pick is maybe okay is if Trey Johnson has just some sort of all-time great rookie year. The team somehow, wins 50 games for the first time since 1979 and makes the playoffs, which I don't think anybody is thinking is a realistic expectation. So losing that pick could be pretty bad. And Jonathan Kuminga, I really think could take us just over the edge with the roster that we currently have to make that sort of a narrow game and maybe push us sort of into middling contention. So what is a successful year right now with the situation that we're in? And while I realize you might tell me, Ben, you're asking for too much. You can't have it both ways. You can't have everything you want in the world. But to be quite honest, the ideal scenario for this team next year is just to lose a bunch of close games. I don't really want to see the team give up 162 points to the Pacers, like we did back in March anymore. It's pretty brutal to watch. You're just getting run off your home court. But also, I want to keep the pick. Of course, I don't want to lose our first round pick next year. And so that means essentially losing just a bunch of close games, and the team continues to learn and grow and figure out how to play together and battle in all those games, but just kind of coming up on the losing end much more often than not. So, again, I realize that might not be a legitimate expectation, but at least it can be a hope and what I think would kind of be the perfect scenario for the upcoming NBA season. And lastly, for that to happen, I want to talk about one young player, Bilal Coulibaly, heading into year three, a guy that so many Wizards fans have just loved watching over his first couple seasons. Every time I pick up my phone right now, I feel like I see a new workout video of Bilal. He's talking trash, he looks smooth, pretty exciting, looks just really locked in here this offseason. Averaged 12.3 points, 5 rebounds, 3.4 assists on 42, 28, and 74% shooting splits last year in year two. Started all 59 games he played in, and for the second straight year, had his season cut short by injury. It's a big third season for Bilal. He'll be eligible for a contract extension for the first time next offseason. And I think, just going into year three, so many fans and front offices sort of expect to find out really what you are in the NBA. You get 3 full seasons under your belt. You've sort of put a body of work out there that shows this is what I do. And while we all love the defense from Bilal, the wingspan, man, he just makes him so good on that end. He's just in so many passing lanes, gets so many deflections, can block shots. And the counting stats were all up this year with a little bit more playing time, but the field goal and 3 point percentages were down. The 28% mark from the 3 point line is really the one that you go, man, that has just got to improve as he goes forward in his career. He's a good finisher around the rim, really good finisher, honestly. He's a solid playmaker for a wing. But again, that shooting ability just has to continue to progress for Bilal, for him to really take, kind of what you think of as that next step in his career. I'd love to know down below what you guys are sort of thinking about in terms of Bilal Coulibaly in year three. We talked about what does success, look like for the team as a whole this season. What does success look like for Bilal in this upcoming year? Again, he's going to be eligible for an extension for the first time next offseason. Again, let me know down below with any thoughts on that or other thoughts you might have on the video. Make sure you like and subscribe while you're down there as well. I appreciate all of the support, you guys. Let's keep it rolling. And happy 4th of July as well. Happy Friday, happy weekend if you're seeing this on potentially Saturday or Sunday. And thanks for tuning in to another episode of Wizards Latest.